The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network inside the Pizza Ranch studio. I'm excited to be back with you. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a little bit of NFL. We're going to jump into a little bit of a MLB to see what's happening to baseball around the diamond, and we'll touch on some local sports here. But right now, I got my trusted sidekicks, Mr. Guy Newcomb, and the gentleman they call Coach over there, DA. Guy, let's start with you, my friend. I got a weird text message today from some guy. He's a jerk. I never like him, but I think you know him, Guy. And I said, well, I do. Why are you texting me? And I want to use good words here because we have kids listening to the show. But he's just one of those guys that's everyone has one of them, okay? And he's just that type of guy. And he said something about the Cardinals being in last place, and he thought it was really funny, and he and ha. But that's not true, is it, Mr. Newcomb? The Cardinals are not in that last place, are we?
No, they are a half a game ahead of the Cincinnati Reds. So after their big 14-5 win over the Diamondbacks, who were hot, but they get a 14-5 win. They're a half game in front of Cincinnati.
And we're going to talk about them a little later. But for those of you who don't know, that jerk is on your screen. He's in your ear. He's the head basketball coach at an unnamed high school here. We're not going to name him. And he actually is from Indiana. And we're going to put that out there. He's a Hoosier. He loves the Hoosiers. And he's a Cubs fan. How do you do that, people? One and only Darren Archer. DA, how are you today, sir?
Very good, baby. I'm just living life the Cardinal way.
Yeah. Well, don't live it. You'll be losing for the next 100 years. I can tell you that. That's the dang on. I'm so glad y'all won. I'm so glad y'all won that World Series because you'll never see another one. It's not going to happen, DA. I'm telling you that right now.
Hey, all I'm going to ask you is this. When is the last time the Cardinals won the World Series? Let me answer that for you. 2011.
2011. Yeah.
Right.
What about before that? 2006, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep living in the past.
Now, when last
it's all
time
about the present. It's all about the present. Come on now. Quit living in the past. Look, you're talking about you weren't even alive when most of their World Series games were won.
82
championships.
We got robbed in 85. I'm not even gonna do this with you this segment. We got robbed in 85. Right, guys? Stay with me, guy.
We got robbed in 85.
Big time. Was Dinkins? Was he out? Was he out at first base?
He was out.
Thank you. What's his name? What's his name, guy?
Dinkinger.
Don Dinkinger robbed us. Everybody in Kansas City is listening to this show. They know. You know what? We're gonna talk baseball this half. They know they robbed us. They know they robbed us. And then what, guy? 2006, and then we didn't have a chance. The year before, 2 years before, against the Red Sox. We didn't have a chance there, did we, guy?
No, they were down 3-0 to the Yankees. They won 8 in a row.
Yeah. We didn't have a chance. And loaded balls all the time. I got all type of conspiracy theories, and all the time the Cubs were sitting at home watching us, and then the Cubs they tank the last game so they can get Rizzo. What's his name? Rizzo. Yeah, I call him Rizzo. That's how I like. And they had the other guy, and then they just call light in the bottle. And there wasn't a rain delay. The Cubs don't beat Cleveland. I hate the Cubs. Can't stand them. I so hated they came back and won that game. I hate them more than I hate the Royals.
That's all I'm going to say, Johnny. Fly the W, baby.
Oh, that
Fly the W.
Looks like two losers you're putting on top of your head.
You
know what, guys? St. Louis is struggling a little bit right now, baseball. Let's jump into it. Struggling a little bit. Guy, why do you think the Cardinals are having a problem? Do you think it's our general manager not putting together a good team? Is Marmol, is he not really a good field manager? Or is this overall the players we don't have the talent? What are you thinking?
Well, I tell you right now, they're going to have to get some pitching. I think, Marmol, he may be in trouble. I mean, this stuff with Tyler O'Neill is still going on. And I think it's just about getting pitching and getting pitchers healthy and getting Flaherty in the right mind. I mean, he's got a 2.76 ERA right now. The back end of the bullpen has not been good. Montgomery's fourth inning last night lasted like an hour and a half. He couldn't get anybody out. I mean, it's just things like that. And Jordan Walker's not hitting. He's kind of slipped off the page a little bit, and that's just a book on him. I mean, once you go through the league, you guys are going to say he's got a weakness here, and he cannot hit a slider. He is swinging at balls off the plate. And I think the pitching will come around. Wainwright, I saw Adam Wainwright on Wednesday go out and do his little deal with the Springfield Cardinals on. He's trying to get back. He threw 3 innings, 59 pitches, gave up a home run and 2 runs in that game, but didn't walk anybody. Looked real smooth, looked healthy. And I think just getting him back in that dugout. And I think that's something that folks don't think about is, when you got Adam Wainwright not there and Yachty's gone, I mean, that's the leaders. I mean, you still got Arenado and Goldschmidt, but I think that's hurt him as well a little bit.
DA, you had a chance to watch him because you're in the Cardinal country here. What are your thoughts on the Cardinals, and do you really see Mo Mozeliak able to put together a winning team in St. Louis?
I think he's failed recently, and I say recently in the last decade. He's failed to make moves when he probably should have. He's been afraid to pull the trigger on some big name players that really, I think, could have been clubhouse changer number one. And I think that's the one thing maybe too that people don't realize how much Molina being gone, and actually Wainwright probably takes that position over in the clubhouse. And with him being gone, who is that person? Arenado, Goldschmidt, that steps up in the clubhouse and kind of takes things by the scruff of the neck and says, "Hey, boys, we got to get our stuff straight here and go out and play." But I think just like what Guy said, it all leads back to pitching, in particular starting pitching. It's a trouble spot right now for the Cardinals and a glaring weakness. I think that if you take a look at across the Major League Baseball, not necessarily American League, National League, but overall, the teams that are really doing well and getting out of the gates quickly are the teams that have solid 1 through 5, and in some cases 1 through 6 starting pitching, and a reliable bullpen to close out these games. I think the complexion of the games, that we've seen with the rule changes has changed the complexion of the game overall. Not just talking about, how long a game takes to complete, but talking about strategy. I've seen something that I'd never seen before, where pitchers are the ones that have are calling the plays with the Guy. You may have to help me here. What do they call when they press the button?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. That goes to the earpiece to call pitches. I'm seeing pitchers wearing those now, just with the with the shortness of time between pitches. They're calling their own games, so a lot of that's changed. And I think the stronger pitching teams are kind of rising to the top right now.
Well, we've talked about the front office. We talked about some of the players and pitchers. I still think Marmol, I think he's got to take a little bit of it. guy. Very quickly, we're going to close out this segment. He had an issue with Tyler O'Neill running the bases. You think that affected the clubhouse the other day, last week?
Oh, I'm sure it did, because I know there were other players, that had made comments that wasn't something that should have stayed in the clubhouse. And I think that maybe was taking a little bit of shot at Marmol. And he's a young coach. He's going to make mistakes, and hopefully he has learned his lesson. He didn't play Tyler the next day, but Cardinals right now, they're just not pitching well. Just like Darren said, the teams that are pitching. I mean, Tampa Bay raced freaking team ERAs 2.72.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this. Should stay in the clubhouse. Some things I don't have making public. I'm gonna make this public. DA is a jerk. He brought up the whole Cardinal thing. We're gonna bring. If he had the problem, he knows where my office is. He can stop by and knock on the door. We can handle it like men. But if I get a text again saying the Cardinals are the last place in the Central Division, we're gonna have a problem, okay, buddy? And I'm gonna put that on a post dispatch. I'm gonna put that on the newsletter, the Daily Citizen. Everybody's gonna hear that there was a rumbling in the jungle with the two big fellas. DA went to blows. Hey, our next segment, we're going to come back and talk about a little NFL draft. It's in one of the favorite cities here in the Midwest. It'll be held in Kansas City, Missouri, at their Union Station. It should be a great time. We'll be right back. We're going to get into it, see who you think should be number one. We'll tell you who we think is going to go number one. Don't go anywhere. Listen to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network.
This has been a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in.